The greatest victory over an insult is not a clever comeback. It is the cold, unwavering silence that follows it. When someone attacks your character, they are fishing for a reaction. They want to see you burn, stutter, or defend yourself. But when you give them nothing, you starve their ego. Most people believe that staying silent makes them look weak or defeated. In reality, silence is the ultimate high-status response. It signals that the insult did not even reach the level of your concern. By reacting, you descend to their level. By remaining still, you force them to realize how small they truly are. The person who can absorb an arrow without flinching is the person who cannot be conquered. In this world of noise, your stillness is a predator's greatest weapon. It is time to learn how to turn their disrespect into their own public humiliation. Without uttering a single word, you will learn to dismantle their pride. You are about to master the art of the Stoic shield. The world has taught you that silence is a sign of surrender. You were conditioned to believe that if you do not fight back, you have lost the battle. This is the lie of the weak. Reactive people are like puppets. Their strings are pulled by anyone with a sharp tongue. When you snap back with an insult, you are proving that the other person has power over your emotions. You are showing them exactly where your skin is thin and where your ego is bruised. Most men spend their lives defending a fragile image of themselves. They shout to prove they are strong, but their noise only reveals their insecurity. In the dark hierarchy of status, the person who reacts the most is the person at the bottom. True power does not need to explain itself. True authority does not feel the need to justify its existence to a peasant. Every time you argue, you are granting your opponent the status of an equal. You are telling the world that their opinion of you actually matters. It is time to stop being a victim of your own impulses. Burn the idea that you must win the argument to win the war. The loudest person in the room is usually the most desperate for validation. The quietest person is often the one who holds the executioner's blade. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. These are the timeless words of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic master. He understood that when you respond to an insult with another insult, you become the very person you despise. In the high courts of Rome, he saw men lose their lives because they could not control their tongues. Aurelius believed that the mind should be an untouchable fortress. If an arrow hits a stone wall, it does not hurt the stone. It only breaks the arrow. When you are insulted, you must become that stone wall. You are not ignoring the person because you are afraid. You are ignoring them because they are insignificant to the fortress of your mind. The philosopher king knew that your character is the only thing that belongs to you. By remaining calm, you keep your character intact. By becoming angry, you hand your character over to your enemy for them to destroy. Choose to be the emperor of your own emotions. The man who cannot be moved is the man who cannot be broken. Every person who insults you is a predator searching for a soft spot. They are not expressing an opinion. They are testing your psychological, structural integrity. They use disrespect to pull you out of your center and into their chaos. If you flinch, they have found a crack in your armor. If you stutter, they have found a nerve they can pull whenever they want. Most people will exploit your need to be liked and respected to control your behavior. They use shame as a leash to pull you in any direction they choose. By explaining yourself, you are handing them the keys to your prison cell. You are giving them the satisfaction of knowing that their words have weight. In the dark game of status, the person who remains unreactive becomes the predator. When you offer no feedback, the person who insulted you begins to feel foolish. Their aggression hits a void, and that void is terrifying to them. They start to question their own power because it had no effect on you. They are feeding on your anger, but your silence is their starvation. Stop providing the fuel for their small, pathetic fire. Lesson 1. The 3-second pause. When an insult is delivered, do not blink or look away. Wait for exactly 3 seconds while looking directly into their eyes. This silence creates a vacuum that the aggressor will feel forced to fill. Lesson 2. The analytical gaze. Look at the person not with anger, but with mild clinical curiosity, as if you are observing a strange insect or a broken machine. This shifts the status from victim and attacker to judge and subject. Lesson 3. The single word dismissal. If you must speak, use a word that ends the conversation instantly. A simple, flat understood or noted is a wall that no one can climb. It acknowledges they spoke, but gives zero weight to what they said. Lesson 4. Maintain physical stillness. The body speaks louder than the tongue. Do not fidget, cross your arms, or shift your weight. A body that does not move is a mind that is not afraid. Lesson 5. The slight smile of pity. A very subtle, almost invisible smile can be more devastating than a punch. It signals that you find their attempt to hurt you pathetic. Pity is the ultimate insult to a bully's ego. Lesson 6. The pivot. After the pause, turn your attention back to whatever you were doing. Continue your conversation or your work as if the interruption never happened. This treats their existence as a minor, irrelevant noise. Lesson 7. Master your breath. When the ego feels attacked, the breath becomes shallow. Force yourself to take a deep, slow breath through your nose. A calm heart rate is the foundation of a dominant presence. Lesson 8. The question that flips the script. Ask them a calm, unrelated question like, "Are you finished?" This forces them to reflect on their own behavior while you remain the authority. The price of your reactive anger is your freedom. Every time you shout back, you are paying a debt to a person who does not matter. You are trading your peace of mind for a moment of pathetic satisfaction. If you do not master the art of the Stoic shield, you will remain a slave to every insult. The world will treat you like a piano, playing whatever tune they desire on your emotions. You will look back at a life spent in petty battles that you never should have joined. Silence is expensive because it requires a level of self-control that most men lack. But the cost of not being silent is your ultimate loss of respect. People do not admire the man who is easily offended. They admire the man who stands like a mountain while the storm rages around him. If you stay loud, you stay small. If you stay reactive, you stay a tool for others to use. The man who was hurt by words is now dead. You have buried the version of yourself that needed everyone to be kind. You have emerged as a sovereign entity that cannot be touched by the opinions of others. You are no longer looking for an apology or a fair fight. You have realized that you are the only judge of your own worth. The insults of the small are now nothing more than the buzzing of flies. You do not need to win the argument because you have already won the war within. Your silence is not a void. It is a heavy golden crown. From this moment on, you are the master of your own fortress. The world may scream, but you are the stillness in the center of the storm. You are a philosopher, a warrior, and a king of your own soul. Your training is complete. The world will test you today, but you are ready to give them nothing. Will you fall back into the trap of being a puppet, or will you stand in your power? The gates of San Wisdom are open for those who choose the path of the mountain. If you have decided to master your reactions, you are one of us. Comment "I am the mountain" if you have accepted your new armor. We are building a legacy of the unshakable. Your stillness is your strength.